I guess one of the really neat things that happens in a missional community like what we've just been through is that extended family feel. Of course, some of my extended family were included, and so that was great. But you do really feel like you're an extended family, and when you see each other, there's a special kind of smile or a knowledge that sort of passes between you that you're doing something intentionally together.
Yeah, I definitely think it made me more open as a person. And, it's definitely, right after moving, it's definitely what I needed to just, integrate myself back into this community. It definitely gave me a new way to think about the church. Not something that you opt to learn about, but something that you opt to experience for the rest of your life.
Yeah, well, my favorite thing was that our kids were a part of it, and they got to know other Christian families within our church too, and just to be intentional about going out there to help other people that normally our kids probably would not see because normally we do it on our own. Mm-hmm. So having them come along and be a part of it was one of my favorite things. And
one thing for me was when we had the kindergarten move. It was awesome to just have people to go to, and everybody was so willing to help out. It didn't matter, and I didn't even have to be concerned that they would. I just knew everybody would be committed to helping, and that was great.
Missional communities are going to be effective for reaching out because you have a group of people that you can bring your people of peace to, and it's a safe place to bring them, where everybody is welcomed and everybody is accepted and listened to, and it's relaxed, and there's usually a meal, which is always good to share, to get to know people comfortably with a meal. So it's a good way to care about other people together, and it's fun to do it together. It's not like work then. It's fun, and it's a lot easier than I expected.
The thing that I enjoyed the most about PMC is that it was the one thing at church, besides going to church, that we could do as a family. It seemed like every other committee or every other thing that you're part of, you're going off by yourself, or Erica would go off by herself. And this was the one thing that we drove to together and did together and went home from together and could experience together. And that was pretty nice.
As I was asking different men into my huddle, I was talking to a senior about joining the huddle that I've started, and he mentioned to me that, because I asked him if he knew what huddle was and why we were doing this, and he said, really, in a way, it's going back to how the church started. It was a small community when the church started, and by doing huddles in missional communities, you're really going back to where we started when the church started. And so he understood the effectiveness of missional communities being small and connecting with one another and supporting each other. And so that's kind of cool, because we haven't gone into a whole new area. We've actually returned to where we started.
The big thing for me, I guess, would be that that once it stops, that we don't stop. It's too easy to make yourself busy. And so by having this in our lives, you kind of made it intentional, and so it was there, and so you planned around it. So I hope that once it stops, that we can continue to move forward with the next stage.